you're very close to this story.
Yes.
And we've been talking a lot about it off the air. And on the air, we've had Richard Pryor Jr. on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Richard Pryor Jr., of course, the son of the late great legend, Richard Pryor, the comedian.
Yes, absolutely.
And Richard Pryor Jr. is on TMZ this morning. And Shay Star, you got the story?
Yeah, so my fam is definitely all over TMZ again. Richard Pryor Jr. has done a complete 180 and now feels as though Nick Cannon is the second most qualified guy to play his dad in an upcoming biopic. Thanks to Bill Baker, you put it in his mind that he was the best man for the job.
The original story was that Jennifer Pryor, who is Richard Pryor's widow, right? They were married. He passed away. There's some controversy going on with the whole situation. She does not speak with Richard Pryor's real kids
at all. They have no relationship.
And, she's in charge of this movie that they're doing. And apparently, I guess she's in charge of his whole estate and all that.
Yeah, she has the keys to everything.
Yeah, and she's basically blocked them out of this movie.
Yes.
Well, apparently, the original story was she had Nick Cannon ready to play Richard Pryor. Well, Richard Pryor Jr., his son, and Rain Pryor, his daughter, did not agree with that.
Yes.
We interviewed Richard Pryor Jr. He also got interviewed on many media outlets.
Yes, Entertainment Tonight, Inside Edition. Wendy Williams talked about him. Huffington Post, page 6, just to name a few.
Yeah, shout out also to Jack Thriller.
Yes, absolutely. Big shout out to Jack Thriller.
This is 50.com.
Yes,
this is 50.com. Interviewed Richard Pryor Jr. And I think for the most part, not only us, but I think everybody else said, what's wrong with Nick Cannon?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, including Jack Thriller, who's very, very close to Nick Cannon. They did the whole Wildin' Out segment together.
Yeah, well, who did we want to play Richard Pryor? Who did his kids want to play, if not Nick Cannon?
Richard Pryor Jr.
Oh, of course. Of course.
No, I think.
No, actually, you know what? I think we talked about that because I said
that.
Why wouldn't you play your dad? Why not?
You actually said that, and it's so funny because the headline on TMZ today is Richard Pryor Jr. If I can't play my dad, Nick Cannon should.
Well, then but then I said, what's wrong with Nick Cannon? Yeah. And it just went from there.
I think at the end of the day, it was just so much.
But in the process, Jennifer Pryor changed her mind.
Yeah, she now Terrence Howard. She's
trying to go with Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
But then they're like, hold up, you just got me on board with Nick Cannon. Right. Now all of a sudden you're changing to Terrence Howard. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, exactly.
But now apparently Richard Pryor Jr., Nick Cannon have been talking.
Yes.
And now they're pushing for Nick Cannon to play.
Yes.
Now that Jennifer Pryor changed her mind. But also, I think, to me, the deeper situation is they want to be involved.
Which they should. That is exactly, the end of the day, that is the point. They want to be involved.
And they have been pushed out of the whole operation.
And, I mean, if you think about it, though, if you were with this man, Richard's probably in his early 50s. So you grew up with this person your entire life. You know what I mean? Jennifer Lee Pryor cannot reenact or recreate that time when your father showed you how to tie your shoes when you were 5 years old.
Let's try to get her on the show.
Yeah, right.
No, seriously.
Man.
Why not?
I mean, I'm all for it.
Why not?
I'm all for the controversy.
Can you work on that?
I will work on that.
Work on that.
They don't speak to her. Now, of course, as we said,
they might not, but we do.
But she won't even.
And I know it might be a little uncomfortable for you because you're close with the kids.
Well, see. Honestly, for me, Bill,
but I'm not.
I want the truth.
Well, let's get her on.
And that's been the biggest thing. That even with Richard, like he even said, it's not so much that, I mean, of course they hate how she tore their family apart, and a lot of people don't know. It's a lot of controversy surrounding his death, and she could have played a part in that. But I mean, think about it. If this was your father, Bill. And he was very sick. He was a very rich man, and some woman who y'all have never known, never met before, comes in and marries him, divorces him, and leaves, and then comes back when he's literally a potato almost. He couldn't do anything, and then change wills and forge documents and then write you and
that's all proven?
And your kids, absolutely. There are documents that they have right now they're investigating that do not have his signature on them.
That's crazy. All right.
Richard Pryor was very close with his kids. He would have not written them out of anything like that.
Well, we'll definitely keep you up to date with this whole situation.
Yes. And I heard there's a petition getting ready to go around to boycott if she don't let him help out with the creative process of this movie.
Oh,
Richard Pryor Jr.
Right.
They're going to shut it down. Can you imagine if you get Kevin Hart, Nick Cannon,
you
and
know
all
what's
these
crazy?
major people behind that?
But again, you know what's crazy? And I'm just gonna play devil's advocate.
Yeah, go for it.
Them petitions don't work.
But it's. So,
they tried to get Justin Bieber out the country.
Yeah, I know.
It went on the White House website. So, and same thing with Piers Morgan.
Yeah.
They tried to extort him from the country. Those things don't work.
But stuff like that is a little asinine. But you're talking about somebody's family legacy.
Oh, no, I know.
Justin Bieber is not Richard Pryor.
All right.
So,
7:44.
On it.
We'll continue on the way. And can you work on Jennifer?
I'll work on Jennifer.
Because I got a couple questions for her.
Oh, I bet you do.
Hip Hop Coffee Shop, 103.9.
OC 104. Richard Pryor's widow says that Nick Cannon should not be cast to play the legendary comedian in the movie, but she knows who should. We talked about this, Terrence Howard, and she said somehow Nick Cannon jumps the gun and hinted that he should play the part because the film director Lee Daniels is still auditioning people. Pryor says it's an easy call. She thinks Howard is perfect. He's intense, he's brilliant, and he has the chops to do it, but she insists on, he needs to lose a little bit of weight. Now,
well, maybe she does.
Well, this is what she looks like, Bill. What do you think?
Oh! Hold on, really? She looks like that?
Yeah, that's her.
Wow.
How do you feel about this, Bill? Seriously, I really want to know.
A little hard on the eye.
Not how she looks. I'm asking you, how do you feel about her Xing the kids out of the movie?
You talking about Richard Pryor Jr. and Rain?
Or just Richard Pryor?
Well, Richard Pryor Jr. should play his father, without a doubt.
And you are adamant at that.
Why not? It's dumb.
Who else, right?
Yeah, who else? And what's wrong with Nick Cannon anyway? He's the man.
I don't think there's anything wrong with Nick Cannon.
If not Richard Pryor Jr., then Nick Cannon.
All right. Well, I think we need to get something going, man. Jennifer, stop being a little biatch and, let us do what we do.
As long as, can somebody play her, though? Like somebody a little easier on the eye? I'm just asking.
She doesn't even deserve to be in the movie. How do you make
It's time for Shay's Shade.
How do you make a movie about somebody's life when you were only in it for 5 years?
Hip Hop Coffee Shop.
I'm just saying.
Tenacious Tables continues with Throwback Thursday.
I'm over it.
And we'll also continue with...
It's time for Shay's Shade on OC 104.
It's OC 104. Good morning.